Young and the Restless Early Edition spoilers. Diane gets a devastating shock. Next week, on Young and the Restless, Diane Jenkins is looking distraught at the Abbott mansion. Her sister-in-law, Tracy Abbott, asks her what happened. She replies that her hubby, Jack Abbott, asked her to move out that night. Indeed, Tracy will be in disbelief. Of course, she knows that Diane and Jack have been fighting a lot lately, and in public, which is not like them. No doubt it was part of their plan to retaliate against Victor Newman. Now, Diane moving out may also be part of the plan on Young and the Restless. However, things are starting to look extremely real, and Diane's marriage to Jack could very well be in real jeopardy soon. YandR Weekly spoilers. The cops make a discovery. While Jack Abbott's Peter Bergman marriage to Diane Jenkins' Susan Walters hangs on by a thread, someone else's life is spiraling out of control. Next week, Detective Chancellor Connor Floyd is with the Genoa City Police Department. They begin a search at Daniel Romalotti's, Michael Graziade apartment. They're looking for anything that can help them figure out exactly what happened to Heather Stevens, Vale Bloom. Then, one of the officers tells Chance he's got something on Young and the Restless. Whatever this new evidence is could be something else that Sharon Newman, Sharon case, planted to frame Daniel. Or it could be a clue that proves he did not kill Heather. Chances are, things get worse for Daniel before they get better. However, his mother, Phyllis Summers Michelle Stafford, has a new theory. She's certain Sharon murdered Heather and is framing Daniel. And she won't let her son go down for Sharon's crime. So, she may start a new quest to prove Sharon is guilty. Young and the Restless Early Edition spoilers. Daniel opens up to Danny. While the police find a new clue at Daniel's place, he takes a video call with his dad, Danny Romalotti, Michael Damian. He asks his son what evidence the police have on him in Heather's murder investigation. Daniel says it's solid enough that he's expecting a knock on his door at any moment. Of course, he knows he didn't kill Heather on Young and the Restless. But he can also see that whoever is framing him is doing it well. And he could end up taking the fall. YandR is thrilling these days. Don't miss a minute to see if this is really the end for Diane Jenkins and her husband, Jack, on the CBS Sudzer. Get all the latest Young and the Restless spoilers and updates daily from Genoa City were unusually quiet that morning, the calm before yet another storm. But inside Diane Jenkins' pristine office at Jabot Cosmetics, chaos was brewing. Diane, ever the poised and calculating businesswoman, had just returned from a meeting with Victor Newman, confident she was finally in control of the latest Jabot acquisition. She sipped her coffee, her mind buzzing with strategies to finally outmaneuver the Newmans once and for all. But little did Diane know, her carefully curated world was about to crumble. A shocking discovery. It started with a phone call that Diane nearly dropped in disbelief. On the other end was none other than a voice from her past. Someone she had trusted, someone whose betrayal had haunted her for years. "Diane, you need to see this," the voice said, tension evident. "It's about your family. It's serious." Diane's heart skipped. Her hand trembled as she clutched the receiver. "What do you mean? Who's in trouble? You need to come to the hospital. Now." Before she could protest, the line went dead. Diane's mind raced. Family? Hospital? Panic prickled at her spine. She grabbed her coat, her heels clicking sharply against the marble floor, leaving Jabot behind in a flurry of uncertainty. A family in peril. At the Genoa City Memorial Hospital, Diane arrived to find a scene she could never have prepared for. Adam Newman, her son, or at least the son she thought she knew, was pacing nervously in the waiting room. His usually confident demeanor was gone, replaced with tension and fear. "Diane," Adam said, voice strained, as soon as he saw her. "You need to sit down. This isn't easy to hear." Diane's stomach twisted. She had been through countless family crises before, but something about Adam's expression told her this was different. Her heart thudded in her chest as she followed him to a secluded corner of the waiting room. "What is it, Adam?" she asked, gripping his arm for support. Adam took a shaky breath. "It's about your health." Diane blinked, confused. "My health? What do you mean?" Adam hesitated, then finally revealed the news that shattered Diane's world. "You've been misdiagnosed for months. What the doctors thought was a minor issue. It's serious, Diane. Very serious. A heart-wrenching diagnosis." The words hit Diane like a freight train. Misdiagnosed? Serious? Her mind spun, replaying every symptom, every test, every doctor's visit. She had been so focused on her revenge strategies and business maneuvers that she had ignored her own body's warnings. Now, it seemed, fate had forced her to confront a reality she couldn't control. I don't understand, Diane whispered, her voice barely audible. How bad is it? Adam's eyes glistened. It's advanced. You need treatment immediately or… He trailed off, the unsaid words hanging heavy in the air. Diane sank into the nearest chair, gripping her head. The room seemed to tilt, the walls closing in as the weight of the revelation pressed down. All her plans, all her schemes, they suddenly felt meaningless in the face of mortality. Old enemies, new complications. As Diane tried to process the news, Genoa City's familiar faces began circling around her. Victoria Newman, ever the protective cousin, arrived with a sympathetic but wary look. Diane, she said softly, I know we've had our differences, but right now you need support. Not drama. Diane appreciated the sentiment, though her mind was already racing. How could she face this without turning it into another battlefield? Victor, the man she had long considered both rival and ally, had already been pulling strings behind the scenes, and she knew he wouldn't hesitate to use this moment against her. And then there was Nikki Newman, whose presence brought Diane an unexpected comfort. Nikki had always walked the line between friend and foe, but today there was no hidden agenda, only genuine concern. We'll get through this, Diane, Nikki said, placing a reassuring hand on her arm. Diane wanted to believe her, but the fear gnawed at her. She wasn't used to relying on anyone, not fully, and now she had no choice. A race against time. The next few days were a blur of tests, consultations, and uneasy family gatherings. Diane, ever the strategist, tried to maintain control, but each new piece of medical information chipped away at her composure. She faced invasive procedures, frightening scans, and specialists who couldn't hide their concern. Meanwhile, Adam stayed by her side, protective yet frustrated. You can't keep hiding behind your walls, Mom, he scolded gently one evening. You have to let people in. Let us help. Diane's pride bristled, but deep down she knew he was right. For the first time in a long time, she felt vulnerable. Not as a business mogul, but as a mother, a woman facing the fragility of life. And as if life hadn't already thrown enough obstacles her way, a shocking twist emerged. A figure from her past, someone Diane thought was long gone, was now connected to her diagnosis in a way she couldn't ignore. A former lover, a rival, a secret that could upend everything. It was all about to collide with Diane's personal crisis. Secrets surface. In a tense confrontation at the hospital, Diane faced this mysterious figure. Why didn't you tell me? She demanded, her voice a mixture of anger and despair. I didn't think you'd believe me, the figure replied. And I didn't want to drag you into it. But now you have no choice. Diane's mind reeled. The news was worse than she could have imagined. Her medical crisis wasn't just bad luck. It was tied to a deliberate act, a manipulation designed to weaken her. And the person behind it had been close enough to know her vulnerabilities intimately. I can't believe this, Diane whispered, her hands trembling. After everything I've survived, after everything I've fought for, someone did this to me? Yes, the figure said softly. And now you need to fight back, not just for your health, but for your life. The emotional fallout. Back at her mansion, Diane confronted the enormity of her situation. She had always been strong, independent, and fearless, but the truth now forced her to accept help, to lean on family and friends in ways she never had before. The glamorous facade she presented to Genoa City could no longer shield her from reality. She found herself reflecting on her life, the victories, the betrayals, the loves lost and regained. She realized that in the pursuit of power and revenge, she had sometimes neglected the people who truly mattered. Now, with her health hanging in the balance, Diane vowed to change that. Adam, she said one night, holding her son close, I need you to promise me something. Whatever happens, you'll take care of yourself. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Adam nodded, tears in his eyes. I promise, Mom. And you focus on getting better. That's all that matters. A new resolve. Despite the fear, Diane's spirit refused to break. The diagnosis, the betrayal, the shocking revelations, they had shaken her to her core, but they hadn't destroyed her. If anything, they had ignited a new determination. She would face her treatment head-on, uncover the truth behind the deception, and rebuild her life, not just as a powerful businesswoman, but as a mother, a friend, and a survivor. And Genoa City would see Diane Jenkins rise again, stronger and more cunning than ever. Her enemies would learn that no matter how devastating the shock, Diane was a force to be reckoned with. As she looked out over the city from her mansion balcony, Diane whispered officially turned Genoa City into a pressure cooker, and this week, The Young and the Restless takes its drama up several notches. Secrets long buried, alliances long forged, and betrayals long planned all collide as the law steps in, and their discoveries could rock the town to its very core. Genoa City's most conniving schemers are about to realize that the police are closing in and nothing, and no one, will remain untouched. This week's YandR promises shocking revelations, emotional confrontations, and jaw-dropping cliffhangers, all tied to a discovery that could rewrite the rules of the game. Let's break down exactly what fans can expect. The cops step in, a discovery that shakes Genoa City. All eyes are on the local authorities as they pick up threads from past investigations that had been ignored, mishandled, or simply forgotten. According to spoilers, the Genoa City police are finally connecting dots that fans have speculated about for months. This week, the investigation leads them to a discovery that could implicate one of the city's most influential families. Victoria Newman is likely to be among those feeling the heat. She's always had to navigate the complicated dynamics of the Newman empire, but this time, it's not a boardroom battle or a business maneuver. This is personal. Expect Victoria to be rattled as the police make moves that could put her family's legacy and reputation in jeopardy. Meanwhile, Sharon and Nick are not out of the woods either. Sharon's past choices, Nick's impulsive decisions, and a few long-hidden secrets could all resurface thanks to the cops' latest breakthrough. Viewers know that the Newman and Abbott families often clash, but this week, law enforcement might just become the ultimate wild card. Phyllis and Summer, tensions explode. Phyllis Summers has been walking a tightrope between her own desires and protecting her daughter, Summer Newman. This week, that balance is about to snap. Spoilers indicate that the police discovery will put Summer in a compromising position, and Phyllis will be forced to make a choice. Either protect her daughter at all costs or risk letting the law unravel the web of lies surrounding them. Summer, on the other hand, is not one to sit back quietly. Expect her to push back against Phyllis, arguing that the truth might be the only way out. Their clash is likely to be emotionally charged, featuring classic YandR intensity. Raw emotions, shouting matches, and perhaps a moment of shocking honesty that fans will not see coming. Meanwhile, as the investigation heats up, Summer's business dealings may come under scrutiny, creating even more pressure. Will Summer risk her budding career to protect family secrets, or will she attempt a daring move to shield herself while letting others take the fall? Fans will be glued to every scene, waiting for the fallout. Jack Abbott versus Victor Newman. Old rivalries rekindle. No YandR week is complete without the age-old Abbott-Newman tension, and this week is no exception. With the police making their discovery, Jack Abbott sees an opportunity to strike. Jack has always been opportunistic, but when law enforcement is involved, his scheming could take on an entirely new level of danger. Victor Newman, predictably, is not one to be caught off guard. Fans can expect Victor to unleash a mix of fury and calculated strategy. With the police poking into his empire, Victor might make moves that are both terrifying and brilliant, reminding Genoa City why he's always been the king of the game. This is the kind of high-stakes clash that YandR thrives on, and viewers should anticipate that sparks will fly, alliances will be tested, and tempers will reach explosive levels. Detective Trouble. Who's in the hot seat? The police's discovery is centered around a shocking new lead that points to someone who's been hiding in plain sight. Fans have long speculated about who might be implicated, and while spoilers are careful not to reveal everything, there's enough to know that a beloved, or at least prominent, character could be in serious trouble. Expect Detective Sanchez or another familiar officer to take center stage, asking hard questions, following leads, and refusing to accept anything less than the truth. This week, the cops are not just background players, they are catalysts. Their persistence will force characters to confront mistakes, lies, and betrayals they've spent years trying to bury. Some spoilers hint that this week may also reveal new information about past criminal activity, and it could tie back to storylines that fans thought had been resolved. That's the brilliance of YandR. It's never truly over, and the past has a way of crashing into the present when you least expect it. Dante versus Nate. A legal battle emerges. While the police are doing their investigative work, the legal side of Genoa City is about to explode. Dante Falconeri, who has been a stalwart of integrity, may face tough decisions regarding how much to reveal and whom to protect. Meanwhile, Nate Hastings' connection to the unfolding mystery could complicate everything. Expect sparks to fly in courtroom-style confrontations, tense meetings, and clandestine conversations. Nate may find himself having to defend his own actions while simultaneously trying to help uncover the bigger picture. The dynamic between Dante and Nate this week is going to be tense, as both men must navigate loyalty, ethics, and the ever-present danger of personal exposure. Fans should watch for moments of surprise vulnerability, particularly from Nate, whose usual calm demeanor may crack under pressure. The stakes couldn't be higher, and the consequences could ripple across Genoa City for months. Billy and Lily, torn between love and loyalty. Billy Abbott and Lily Winters are in a particularly tricky spot this week. Their romance has already been complicated by family conflicts, professional rivalry, and outside interference. But now the cops' discovery threatens to pull them apart entirely. Billy may be forced to choose between his loyalty to his family and his growing sense of justice, while Lily might face professional consequences that test her limits. Expect emotionally charged scenes where love and duty collide, creating moments that are as heartbreaking as they are explosive. As always, YandR excels at showing the personal impact of public events, and fans can anticipate that Billy and Lily's storyline this week will be both intimate and gripping. Their struggles will feel real, their emotions raw, and the consequences potentially life-changing. Shocking revelations and cliffhangers. What makes this week's episode arc truly gripping is the potential for multiple cliffhangers. With the cops making a discovery, nearly every Genoa City resident could be affected. Who will be exposed? Who will be arrested? Who will betray whom to save themselves? Spoilers hint at a scene in which a shocking piece of evidence comes to light, leaving several characters speechless, and viewers on the edge of their seats. Expect dramatic confrontations in the Chancellor Mansion, the Newman boardroom, and perhaps even in the streets of Genoa City itself. YandR is masterful at blending suspense with character-driven drama, and this week is no exception. Fans should also keep an eye out for smaller reveals that could foreshadow larger storylines. A seemingly minor character could provide crucial information, or an unexpected confession could upend everything. The cops' discovery acts as a trigger, forcing the city's most notorious schemers to reveal their shocking twists, secret betrayals, and emotional confrontations. Danny Romalotti becomes the unlikely confidant of his older brother Daniel Newman. As tensions mount in Genoa City, fans are in for an emotional ride as the Newman family faces both old wounds and new revelations. Genoa City has always been a town of secrets, and the Newman family is arguably the town's crown jewel of complicated drama. But this week, the spotlight shifts in a way fans didn't see coming. Daniel Newman is opening up to his younger brother Danny in ways that could change the family dynamic forever. For years, Daniel has maintained his typical facade, the successful, polished Newman son who keeps his emotions tightly controlled. But even the most composed members of Genoa City's elite can't hide their struggles forever. Viewers will see a side of Daniel that's raw, vulnerable, and deeply human, a side he has rarely shown, even to his closest allies. A surprising confession. The week kicks off with Daniel quietly brooding in his office at Newman Enterprises. The pressures of running parts of the family empire, combined with ongoing personal conflicts, weigh heavily on him. Summer's latest business maneuver has created friction, and a surprise legal threat from Victor has him questioning his own judgment. But what truly unravels Daniel is the lingering guilt over his estranged relationships, particularly with his family. Enter Danny. The younger, more empathetic Romalotti sibling has always been Daniel's sounding board, but their relationship has often been superficial, filled with casual jokes and light-hearted teasing. That changes this week, as Daniel seeks Danny out for a private heart-to-heart. Fans will be stunned as Daniel, typically the rock of the Newman family, admits his vulnerabilities in a way no one anticipated. The confession begins with small admissions, stress, anxiety, feeling the weight of expectations, but quickly escalates into deeper revelations about regrets, past mistakes, and fears of losing the family he loves most. Danny, I don't know how to say this, but I've been carrying a lot, Daniel tells his brother, voice barely above a whisper. I've tried to handle it all myself, but it's too much sometimes. Danny, who has often been portrayed as the innocent and sensitive member of the family, listens intently. His usual humor is replaced with a calm, reassuring presence, showing a side of him fans haven't seen before. Danny, you're my brother, Daniel continues. You always have been. And I think I need you now more than ever. A bond strengthened. This revelation marks the beginning of a deeper connection between the brothers. Daniel's admission isn't just a fleeting moment. It sparks a week-long storyline that sees Danny stepping up in ways fans won't forget. From providing counsel to offering moral support, Danny becomes a stabilizing force for Daniel, helping him navigate both business challenges and family drama. The episodes to come will highlight their bond through a series of emotional scenes. One standout moment is a late-night discussion in the Newman family home, where Daniel recounts past decisions that have haunted him, from failed relationships to missteps in his career. Danny listens without judgment, offering perspective and encouragement. It's a tender, raw moment that provides viewers with a rare glimpse into the human side of a character who has often been portrayed as confident, sometimes unflinchingly so. Old wounds resurface. Of course, the Newman family isn't known for calm waters. While Daniel and Danny's connection grows, old wounds are sure to resurface. Victor Newman, ever the imposing patriarch, notices a shift in Daniel's demeanor and becomes suspicious. Could Daniel's openness be a weakness in the high-stakes world of Newman Enterprises? Or is it a necessary step toward healing and growth? Meanwhile, other family members, including Nikki and Summer, will be watching closely. Nikki is heartened by the budding closeness between the brothers, hoping it will bring a sense of stability to the family. Summer, on the other hand, may see Daniel's vulnerability as an opportunity to advance her own interests, creating tension between loyalty and ambition. Fans should also keep an eye on Adam, who is notorious for exploiting cracks in the Newman family. While Daniel and Danny's newfound closeness is touching, Adam's schemes could test their bond in unexpected ways. Will the brothers stand united, or will the pressures of Newman Enterprises drive a wedge between them? Early spoilers hint that viewers can expect intense confrontations, emotional standoffs, and moments that could redefine the family dynamic forever. A week of emotional turmoil. The early edition spoilers reveal that Daniel's opening up is not without consequences. As he shares his struggles, the family begins to see him in a new light. His vulnerability challenges the usual power dynamics, particularly with Victor, who is accustomed to Daniel presenting a flawless exterior. In one pivotal scene, Daniel admits to Danny that he has been struggling with more than just business pressures. Past relationships, personal regrets, and feelings of inadequacy have weighed heavily on him. Danny's response is heartfelt and grounding, reminding Daniel that he is more than his achievements, more than his mistakes. He is a brother, a son, and a man worthy of love and support. It's okay to not have it all figured out, Danny tells him. You don't have to carry everything alone. This line, simple yet profound, resonates with viewers who have followed Daniel's journey over the years. It's a moment of catharsis, a reminder that even in the midst of chaos, family can provide a safe harbor. Implications for the Newman family. Daniel's candid conversation with Danny has implications that ripple throughout the Newman family. For one, it challenges the often rigid and hierarchical structure of Newman Enterprises. A leader admitting vulnerability is a rarity in Genoa City, and Daniel's openness may inspire others to confront their own struggles. Nikki, always the emotional anchor, recognizes the importance of this development. She supports her sons and hopes that this moment of honesty can strengthen family ties that have been tested by deceit, ambition, and betrayal. For Summer, however, this vulnerability may be viewed as an opportunity. The ambitious Newman daughter has been navigating her own set of challenges, and Daniel's shift in focus could create openings for her to maneuver in both business and personal arenas. And of course, Adam is never far from the drama. Early spoilers suggest that Adam may attempt to manipulate the situation, testing the brothers' trust and loyalty. Fans can anticipate tense showdowns, sharp dialogue, and strategic plotting that keep the audience on the edge of their seats. Viewer takeaways. Fans should expect a week full of intense emotion, tearful revelations, and subtle power plays. Daniel's willingness to open up to Danny represents a significant turning point in the Newman family narrative. For longtime viewers, it's a moment of growth, a break from the often cutthroat world of business and betrayal, offering a rare glimpse of genuine human connection. Social media is already buzzing with theories. Will Danny's support help Daniel navigate upcoming challenges, or will it put him at greater risk in the ruthless Newman business empire?